Karan, please.
So today's topic is space and time in Jain philosophy. So for half an hour, we will discuss on the topic of this week, and then I will take the questions. So space. We have discussed the concept of soul in the previous lecture, and we have seen also that there are six such realities which have at least the five fundamental realities which have independent existence. So space is one of them, and there are other three non-living substances which have also their own independent existence, eternal existence, and therefore they are real entities. So this is the one we can say criteria of being real, that they must have their independent eternal existence. And they must also follow the OCP rule. The OCP rule was already discussed in the first lecture, that each and every reality which is real and existing must undergo three phases, which is origination, cessation, and persistence. From substantial point of view, it is a one indivisible entity. The individual soul is indivisible. Similarly, the atom is indivisible. Likewise, the space is also an indivisible entity. It cannot be divided into pieces or parts. From a spatial point of view, it is ubiquitous, all-pervading, and infinite in extent. So space is everywhere. There is nothing which is devoid of space or which is not in the space. So space is found everywhere. Therefore, it has infinite in extent. It has infinite space points. That's why it is also infinite. And one space point is the smallest part of the space, which is regarded is equal to the size of the subatomic particle, which is indivisible. From temporal point of view, space is eternal. It has no beginning and no end. It will always be there, even in the remote future. It was in the past, it is at present, and it will always be in the future. From the point of view of nature, it is non-corporeal, non-physical, motionless, and non-living. So we know that it is non-physical, and that's why it is difficult to identify or to detect space as such through any scientific instruments or any technology. Only a tiny fraction of space is occupied by other substances. So space is divided into two parts. So this division is just a metaphorical, or just to understand the concept of other substances which are found in particular space, but it is not in reality. So we can say that the tiny space is only occupied by other substances, and the rest of the part of space is vacuum. So that part is recognized as transcosmos, or you can say supra space, where there is nothing than the space itself. So in this way, we find that there are two divisions of space. One is called cosmic space, which is known technically as Lokakash or Lok, you can say. And it contains all other substances, including itself. But so far as the transcosmos is concerned, which is known as Alokakash or Alok, it doesn't have any other substances than itself. So transcosmos is a completely vacuum space where there is no other substances, and the cosmic space is having all other five substances. So in this way, we can say that the tiny part of space which is occupied by some other substances too, that is only the universe, that is only the cosmos, and the rest of the part is transcosmos or supracosmos, or you can say supraspace. Cosmic space is one indivisible and finite and surrounded in all directions by transcosmic space, whereas transcosmic space is one indivisible, infinite, and boundless. So you can see that the cosmic space is finite. It has limitations. It cannot be infinite like the transcosmic space. And the finity of the cosmic space is measured by its space points, and that is innumerable in numbers. While the transcosmos is having infinite number of space points. So this is the difference between the cosmic space and supracosmic space or transcosmos. Now we would see that there are certain other elements or substances which are also non-living, non-physical, and real. So what are those? So the medium of motion, which can be said as MOM in short, or dharmastika in technical term. So it is an agent of what we say medium, or you can say medium of motion, medium of motion. And there is another substance which is known as agent of rest or adharmastika, and that is the medium of rest. So medium of motion is the substance which renders direct assistance without exercising any force to move soul and matter when they have developed the tendency to move. Or water is in regard to the movement of fish, as water is in regard to the movement of fish. So you can see that the medium of motion is always assisting to the motion of the living and non-living entities like the matter. And without its assistance, nothing can move from one place to another place or from one space point to another space point. Or there can be no motion even without the support of the medium of motion. It is an auxiliary cause and a passive but indispensable and universal cause of motion. So it is very important to note that the medium of motion is an auxiliary cause. It is not the material cause of our motion. The material cause of motion is living or non-living or matter, you can say, themselves. They have the quality, they have the what we say potential of moving from one place to another. When they move by themselves, then this medium of support motion is always ready to support them to move from one place to another. So it is a passive, it is not inspiring or motivating or activating them to move from one place to another. Medium of motion also helps in propagation of sound waves, blinking of eyes, mental, physical, and verbal activities. So I have said that no motion is possible, no movement is possible. So whether the sound waves are moving from one place to another, or our eyes are blinking, or we are performing any mental or physical or verbal activities, they all are being done with the support of this medium of motion. So it is a kind of force, universal force, which is available everywhere in the cosmic space, and things are moving with the support of this particular medium of motion. There is a need of rest also to the bodies which are in motion, and for taking the rest, they need also the medium, external force, external support, and that support is identified as the agent of rest or adharmastika. So it renders extraordinary assistance to all substances to remain at rest. Without support of adharmastika, nothing can take rest. Though rest is also dependent on the will of the living beings or the capacity of the material entities, and they are the material cause of taking rest, but it is the medium of rest which is always available to support their tendency of taking rest. So, agent of rest helps in standing, sitting, sleeping, concentration of mind, maintaining silence, keeping the body in complete state of relaxation, keeping the eyes closed, etc. So, all those movements, all those what we say events or activities of taking rest, they are being performed with the support of this AOR. So without AOR, the universe would be in continuous state of motion, resulting in chaos. So it is said that why these two mediums are uh, essential or important for us to consider. And the reason is said that without these two mediums, this universe would be in a chaotic condition and not in a fixed order. So they are the universe is in a order, and that is because of these two mediums. These mediums are not allowing things to go beyond the cosmic space, and that's why all things or matter or atoms, they are confined to the limit of the cosmic universe. They are not going away, and they are not separating from each other in that sense. So now we see that medium of motion and medium of rest are very important to know the limit of the cosmic universe, as well as to know why the universe is in a very particular or very defined order. MOM and AOR each is one indivisible and independent substance and pervade only the cosmic space and not transcosmic space. So they are one only in number and not many. So they are coextensive of the cosmic space, but they are not spread beyond the cosmic space and not available in the transcosmos. This is the reason why the liberated souls even cannot go beyond the limit of the cosmic space. They become stuck to the top of the universe because the medium of motion and medium of rest are confined to that limit only. After they are not available. So even the liberated souls cannot go out of the cosmic limit. Thus, the number of space points of each of MOM and AOR is equal to the number of space points of cosmic space, which is innumerable and not infinite, as I have said. And that the cosmic space is having innumerable space points. And since the cosmic space is being limited by these two medium of rest and medium of motion, so they must also have the equal number of space their points. So they are also having innumerable points in themselves. It means that they are constituted by all those pradeshas or points which are of their own nature. Each is without being beginning and without end. Each is eternal. So I have said that these are the eternal substances. They are independent and eternal, not created by any supreme power or any god. They are self-existent realities. Each is a non-physical, non-corporeal, and immobile substances devoid of consciousness. So they are considered as non-living substances because they are devoid of consciousness. And they are also non-corporeal, like the soul, and they are also immobile in themselves. So it is very important thing to note here that though medium of motion is always available to support in motion, but it in itself is immovable. It doesn't move from one place to another. If it were so, then there would always be the question that who is supporting the medium of motion if it is also moving. So that kind of fallacy comes in the notion, and that's why we should understand that why this medium of motion and medium of rest, even they are immovable, they are static or stable in the cosmic space, and immovable in their nature. Space cannot be medium of motion and agent of rest, though these two substances have not been discussed in any other philosophies, or sometimes we can say not in the science, though science has tried to know that what is the medium which is supporting light to move from one corner to another corner, even in the vacuum places. And they have tried to think of it, and uh, they have made some hypothetical what we say calculation, and they have found that there must be some such kind of medium of motion which is available in the cosmic space, and that must be named as ether, but they supposed ether as physical entity, and after experiments they could not find out such kind of entity in the universe, and they have rejected that the ether is not existing. But after Einstein and Eddington has said that no, if such kind of physical entity is not available, then there should be some non-physical, such kind of medium which is coextensive of cosmic space and immovable. But if there is no such kind of medium, then how the light can move from one corner to another corner without any support of any waves or any air or any other sources? So in this way, the science has also considered that there should be some medium of motion which is available throughout the space, at least in the cosmic space, and helping in motion of the things. So now we can see that these two mediums, have not been discussed, at least in any other Eastern and Western philosophical traditions. They think that if there is motion and there is rest, then it is space itself which can provide this kind of help to the things which are in motion or which are tend to take rest. But according to Jainism, if space is can be the medium of motion and can be medium of rest, then space is everywhere. Nothing will stop. Everything will always be in motion, and it will also go beyond the cosmic limit. So the whole universe will be in the chaotic condition and not in a order. So that cannot be accepted. That's why Jainism says that there are two other different elements than space, and they are supporting in motion and rest. So the two substances are free from the principle of causality. They can only be an auxiliary cause. They must be indifferent and neutral in themselves, and yet they are indispensable to the composition of the universe. So yeah, these all the fundamental realities, they are free from the principle of causality. Cause and effect theory does not apply to all these fundamental eternal realities, because they are self-created or self-existent or eternal. They are not created by any other sources. According to the law of causality in logic, every action requires two kinds of cause: material cause and auxiliary cause. Material cause is one which converts into itself into effect, while auxiliary cause is one which assists in its accomplishment. So this is what the difference between the auxiliary cause and the material cause. So the material cause of motion or rest or accommodation is these elements themselves, but the auxiliary cause can be what we say the living and non-living entities. They are the material cause of their motion and rest, but the medium of motion and the medium of rest are only the auxiliary cause. They can just assist to accomplish their motion or rest. Now the concept of time. So we find that time is also very important to know, because nothing takes place without space and time. Whenever we think of anything, we think that whether this thing is found in India or abroad or in any corner of the universe. Similarly, we also think that when this thing is has come into existence. So time is also very important to know about the reality or any entity or any event. So in Jain philosophical discussion of substances, time is used as a synonym of samaya, an indivisible unit of time. So time is a very broader concept. There are several measurements of time, which can be the part of the time concept itself. But sometimes time is equated with the concept of samay, which is a kind of instant or instance or moment. So samay has been defined as the time taken by a Parmanu moving at slowest speed to move from one space point to the adjoining space point. So how we can see that what is the duration of this movement or instance? So it is said in the Jain scriptures that when one atom moves, reaches to the next adjacent space point with slow speed, so that time is considered as one samay. So time is consisting of these innumerable, or you can say infinite number of samayas. Time does not extend in space. It exists only at one space point. Only the present instant of time has existence. Past is already extinct and future has still not come into existence. Present instant is a single unit and therefore cannot expand in 3 dimensions. So we know that time does not extend in space because it has no extension. It remains always in the present, and it is always instantaneous. It is not a longer period in itself. So it exists only at one space point, though we cannot say that it lives in the space point, but just we can say that it is just for one moment. Only the present is always real time, and whatever we think about the past time or future time, they are only just imaginary and not real time in one sense. And present instant is a single unit. It is unitary substance. It is not connected with the past moments or the future moments, and therefore it cannot be said as expanded realities, like the space or the medium of motion or the medium of rest or so. They have infinite or innumerable points, but the time is always a unitary point, and it has no connection with the past and future. So it is always instantaneous in its nature. Time is of two kinds, empirical and transcendental. There are two traditions in Jainism. One is Shvetambara tradition and the other one is Digambar tradition. Both the traditions are having these two types of time concepts, but they have little bit differences in their conceptions. So we would see that what is the difference, and we will also try to understand what is empirical time and what is the transcendental time. So Shvetambara tradition says that transcendental time is the cause of transformation of substances. So and the transcendental time is mode of soul, matter, and other substances. So transcendental time is always instantaneous. It is momentary. Whenever things are changing, and we know that everything is changing at every moment. So that one moment change is recognized as the transcendental time, and that is only the real time. And the other time, which is called what we say empirical time, that is just a time which is set on the motion of sun and moon. So that has been accepted as empirical time, and in empirical time we can set so many time measurements, for example year or month or day or night or hours or seconds, like that. So, and the transcendental time is really the time, and it is just for one moment and not longer period. Empirical time is the measured time, the units of measurements which we see generally as the seconds or hours or day or night or month or years or Ausarpini like this. So they are just what we say, they are the measurements of different times, and they are calculated on the basis of the time units past in the past, or they are going to take place in the future. So, are generally based on some event in the physical world, such as motion of Earth, Sun, or Moon, as I have said. So, the absolute time consisting of instants is conceived as beginningless and endless, where the empirical time has both. So we see that the hour ends and the day starts, or you can say the month ends and the year is considered after that, after passing 12 months. So in this way, we find that this empirical time may end or it may begin in particular moment. But so far as the transcendental time is considered, it is always eternal, eternal in the sense because it is going on. It is always associated or intrinsic quality of all the substances, and the substances are eternal. Therefore, the transcendental time is also eternal. So far as the Gamba tradition is considered, it says that time is also having its own independent existence in the form of kalanus. And it says that these kalanus are found in cosmic space only. And since the cosmic space is having innumerable space points, so the kalanus are also innumerable in number, and each Kananu is located in each space point. So, but and they also say that these Kananus have no connection with each other. That's why they cannot be expanded realities in themselves. They are single, unitary in themselves, and have no connection with other time points. So this is what they concept they believe, and they say that the time is also having, or some kalanus are having their own independent existence, and they are also eternal. They are always found in the universe. So they have given the example of Jains, as we find that there is heap of gems having no connection, no thread in between them. Similarly, the time points have no connection with each other. They are discrete, and they are found in each and every space point of the cosmic space. Each substance itself is the material cause of transformation taking place every instant, but the auxiliary cause of this transformation is time atom. So they believe that things are changing by themselves. Instead of that, uh, there is always time available to assist in that transformation or changes which are taking place in the living and non-living entities or all the substances. The time atom substance which is possessed of the characteristics of causing transformation is the transcendental time. So according to the Gamba tradition, the transcendental time is that which possesses the characteristic of causing transformation, changes. So that is considered as the real time or transcendental time. The time atoms themselves are also possessed of the trinity of origination, cessation, and persistence. The present instant is originated, the past instant ceases to exist, but the time atoms, which are substrata of both these instants, continue to persist all throughout. So, why time is real according to the Gamba tradition? It is because it is also following the OCP rules, and the OCP rules in the sense that the present moment is coming into existence and the past is going away. In this way, there are origination and cessation, and the time substrata is always there. So transcendental time as time atoms is eternal without beginning and without end. So this is the same what the Shvetambara tradition thinks of. The empirical time is not a substance, it is recognized through the following characteristics. So what is the empirical time? How we can understand the empirical time, in which sense it is going on or it is playing its role in the world of realities. So you can see that whenever we see that things are existing for some time or for the moment, so this duration of anything shows that time is working there. So which means the things are existing. Vartana means duration, means the things are existing for the time period, and that is the sign of the empirical time. Change. Change in the state of a substance undergoing transformation. So whenever we see the any kind of changes in the things, the changes are taking place in time. Maybe the young child become the small child becomes young, so it takes some time, no, to coming to the young age. So that kind of transformation or change is showing that it is something connected with the time. Action, it may be action or it may be motion. So action includes the motion also, and motion means orderly changing of positions in a space, which is associated with time for which it takes place. Similarly, all other actions associated with lapse of time. So we see that if something is moving, then that motion is also calculated in the terms of time, how much speed we are having. For example, if we are moving from one place to another, for example, we are covering 1 kilometer in 5 minutes, then we can see that, oh, my speed is very fast because I can cover the 1 kilometer distance in 5 minutes. So the motion is also considered or understood in the terms of time. Without time, we cannot understand that how much I have speed or how fast I am. Priority is priority and posteriority. So that is also the sign of empirical times, that something is old or something is new or something is ancient or something is modern. So all these concepts of old and new or modern or what is ancient or prior or posterior, they are also dependent on time concept. So these are the signs to understand the concept of time and the empirical time, which we can say. The transcendental time is just instantaneous, and it is very difficult to see that time period. Empirical time prevails only in the time zone or human zone. So according to Jainism, since the empirical time is based on the motion of moon and sun, etc., so it is found only in the time zone or human zone, where the humans, intelligent humans, are found. According to Jainism, there are 2.5 islands in the middle universe where the human beings are found, and where these planets are in motion. So the time is also, the empirical time is also confined to this human sphere or time zone, you can say, where the sun and moon are in the motion. And that's why, and this is the limit of the empirical time. But so far as the transcendental time is considered, it is found everywhere and all the times, whether it is in the it is the cosmic universe or transcosmic universe or any other time. You will find that transcendental time is working always, because it is the intrinsic quality of all the substances, and it is always there in them. So this is what we have understood, what is the time concept in Jain tradition. There are some other views of time so far as the Western philosophies and the science is considered. We can see that also. But before, if you have some questions, you can ask me.
पंडामी अप, अपने जैन धर्म की मान्यता के हिसाब से काल टाइम सिर्फ
Yes.
व्यवहारिक तत्व है, धर्मास्तिका है, धर्मास्तिका है, जीवास्तिका है, उन सबों के कंपैरिजन में नहीं है, मतलब एक्चुअली व्यवहारिक तत्व है। ये सही है या गलत है?
श्वेतांबर ट्रेडिशन के अनुसार आपका एक दृष्टि से कि वो व्यवहारिक है, परंतु ये एक रियल सेंस में है कि मोड है ये। हर जीव और अजीव पदार्थ निरंतर बदल रहा है, ये बात सच है। और बदल रहा तो वो जो वन मोमेंट का जो परिवर्तन पदार्थ में हो रहा है, प्रतिक्षण जो परिवर्तन हो रहा है, उसी को ट्रांसेंडेंटल टाइम कहा गया है। वो जीव और अजीव की एक तरह से पर्याय है। चूंकि जीव और अजीव इटर्नल है, रियल है, इसलिए वो टाइम तो रियल ही है। जो हम मोशन के आधार पर जो टाइम या टाइम मेजरमेंट्स जो हम फिक्स कर रहे हैं, वो टाइम मेजरमेंट्स हमारी अपनी कल्पना से बनाए हुए या अपनी सुविधा के लिए बनाए हुए हैं। सो दैट इज व्यवहारिक का। Any other question? Yes, answer. Sure. You can unmute yourself.
वदामी, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एक आपने पहले कहा ना कि ध्वनि, वी आर लाइक, हम जो सोचते हैं और या बोलते हैं, सर्टनली द वाइब्रेशंस और ध्वनि दैट गोज आउट इनटू द स्पेस, एंड मेरे को ये पता नहीं चलता कि योर थॉट गोज टू समबडी एल्स और वेर एवर, एंड ऑल्सो इन ऑर्डर टू रिटर्न, I could be wrong, but I thought that the sound waves have to be, uh, um, you know, kiske sath, they have to be attached or then reflected back to the solid thing. Now, if we are talking that there is nothing in the space, where are they going? How do they know where, how far to go, and where do we get our ideas back?
So you are talking about telepathy?
Telepathy, or yes, anything like that, जो कहते हैं कि whatever your good thoughts and all that, so
Yes.
how does that happen?
See, there is a manovargana, uh, uh, there is a material of manovargana. Whenever we are thinking, we are getting some material from the environment, we are converting in them into thought waves, and those thought waves are traveling to the person to whom we are thinking of, that he should know what you are thinking about him or her. So yes, thoughts are waves like that, and they are traveling. They are traveling from whenever you release your thoughts, they are traveling to some distance, and it may reach to the person whom you are thinking of in that particular moment. So thoughts waves are also a kind of waves, no? Sound
Yes.
waves are also a kind of waves. So air is also a kind of waves. So they are having the wavy nature. They are having wavy nature, and they have velocity also. So it depends on you that how intensely you are thinking of someone. So that intensity may be as the cause of speed of the waves, the thinking thought waves. And also it is a kind of we can say that there is the other person is also having that kind of sense of your thought, what you are thinking about him. So there is some internal connectivity with the two minds or two persons, and that's why he can easily connect with you what you are thinking about her.
But my question is that when my thought goes
Yes.
and to a person X or Y, how does it reach? If I'm thinking about you, Suril may not get that thought. It comes to you only. How does that decide or comes? I'm just kind of a little confused about
See,
that thought.
okay, Suril, would you like to say something?
Yes. So, however, because that means right now you are talking about we didn't yet understand entire the Pudgalis, right? However, Vandami has already been explained. There are all those are the six substance, and our entire universe is entirely filled with it. It means that how much that is the filled one, it means that there is entirely no space is been left off. Okay. Even though we are thinking about that, there is a one thing is a part of that one. But whenever any kind of those the vibrations happened, whenever you are thinking about the thought one, so it's created kind of the vibrations, right?
Yes.
And then the vibrations is been passing through. Now your question is how that the person is knowing it. It is always been based on that the receptors one, right? The how receptor is a strong. Okay. So I will just give you an example, because sometimes you are if the receptors has a different levels of that one, and that is already been explained in our Jainism, all those that books up there one. So if you see some of those the Muniraj, right, they are on high level of that one. It means that they have the reception power is much more broader, so they can even accept your wavelength, even though it's apart from the thousands of mile away, right? But
Yes.
if so it is that the power of the receptors, I am simply telling you in the same way examples with is the same concept. Right now all those the mobile communications whatever we are talking about it is working into this the same principle. Even though in our entire around in your area, including wherever you are sitting up there, there are this the thousands of those the messages is passing by and coming to you, but it is not vibrating your mobile. Why? Whenever somebody is your receptor is accepting only that the receptions that is been meant to you, it means that there are some certain kind of those the vibrations comes to your mobile, and it's matching it inside your circuit, and hey, yeah, this is my recorded vibrations and this is this the same, is matching it. And then your mobile is ringing. Even though into the same room, if we are thousands people are sitting up there and everyone has a mobile, right, we are receiving all those are the rays into it. Same principles apply here. So it's always been on whenever you are sending it, it is not guaranteed that other person is receiving it. It's always been on other person's reception's power, whether they're receiving it or not.
Yeah, I
But
got
yes,
it.
it is traveling. Okay. And the same principle has already been science has proven it.
Yeah. So something that what my thought is only created for you reaches you only and not to Vandami or somebody else.
No, no, no. It
It,
can receive, anyone can receive it who has
oh,
that the reception's power, right?
okay.
Like I will give you an example. जैसे I can tell you, आपने जो मैसेज भेजा, मैंने आपको कॉल किया, तो गवर्नमेंट एजेंसी अगर आपका कॉल सुनना चाहती है तो
Huh.
वो नहीं सुन सकती? हाँ, सुन सकती है,
They can. Okay.
right? So
Got it.
other, yes, but it means that the receptor has that the power to receive your
Okay.
conversation.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. हाँ.
Thank you, Didi.
Okay. So thank you. Priyanka, would you like to ask anything?
वरना में शामली जी, मेरे को थोड़ा सा ये डाउट है कि मतलब वही मैं अभी भी शायद वो सोल और उस सब में उलझी हुई हूँ। सोल जो है वो नॉन फिजिकल है और इससे जो मतलब मुझे ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा एक्चुअली कि सोल इज थिंकिंग कि माइंड इज थिंकिंग। पहली चीज तो ये है, मतलब जो थॉट्स हैं वो सोल के थ्रू आ रहे हैं या फिर माइंड के थ्रू आ रहे हैं। मतलब ऐसे बोलते हैं साइंस में कि ब्रेन वर्क्स, उसका नर्व एक्टिविटी और वो सब होता है तो थॉट्स प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, फिर वो हॉर्मोन्स रिलीज होते हैं एंड यू एक्ट दैट वे। तो वो कनेक्शन समझ में आता है कि ये लिंक्ड है चीजें। बट जो सोल से जो थॉट्स निकल रहे हैं वो कैसे लिंक्ड है? मतलब सोल तो नॉन फिजिकल है और उससे फिजिकल चीज निकल रही है। जस्ट नाउ यू सेड, मतलब मुझे भी वो हंसा जी ने पूछा, वो डाउट मुझे भी था कि जो थॉट्स है वो फिजिकल है कि नॉन फिजिकल है। तो वो अभी क्लियर हुआ कि वो तो फिजिकल वेव्स है, तो सोल नॉन फिजिकल है। और अगर सोल सोच रही है तो वो फिजिकल चीज कैसे प्रोड्यूस कर रही है, वो डाउट है मुझे।
Okay. So now we have to understand that there is electricity in the mobile, no, or internet connection with the mobile. So it is the just a kind of electricity or power. So the soul is powering the mind to think of something. Clear? So mind is an instrument for making thoughts or converting something or some intention of the soul into thought. Clear? So soul is empowering the mind, and that's why mind is working. If there is no soul behind the screen, the mind cannot work in itself. Okay, it is not capable to do something or to think of anything. So it is a, there are two types of mind, in Jain tradition. One is bhavaman and other one is dravyaman. So the thought waves or is a kind of dravyaman, and the thinking process which is being governed by the soul is bhavaman.
Okay.
Clear? Thinking process which is being governed by the soul. It is the soul which is thinking through mind.
Okay.
Okay? And mind can catch the matter from outside to convert into thought waves. Clear? So the material which is being converted into thought, that is the dravyaman. That is the physical mind. Okay? And the thinking process or the empowerment of the mind, which is being connected with the soul, that is the bhavaman. So after all, it is soul which is thinking what he has to do in the next moment, or after a few years, or whatever future planning we are doing. So it is our own inner self which is thinking about the future or the past or the present. Clear? So, and for thinking, you need some thought waves. And thought waves are being created with the support of this physical matter, which is known as Manovargana ke Pudgal. In matter, helping to convert thoughts or to make thoughts. Clear?
Okay. Okay.
वंदा मैं
और
एक
Yeah.
ऐड करना चाहता हूँ उसमें। जैसे प्रियंका जी, धवला के अंदर ये विषय है ना, आपने जो क्वेश्चन पूछा वो काफी अच्छी तरह से लिया गया है धवला के अंदर। तो
Okay.
जो आपका ये क्वेश्चन है, इट इज द सेम अप्लाइड टू ऑल अदर थिंग्स, राइट? कि कर्म भी कैसे ही बनते हैं, ऐसे ही बनते हैं। जब तक, सो हाउ एवर अवर जीव का नेचर कैसा है, जब तक वो स्वभाव में है, कोई भी वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट नहीं होगा। ओके, तो जैसे आई विल जस्ट गिव एन एग्जांपल। सिद्ध भगवान, सिद्ध भगवान है, सो दोज आर टोटली इनटू देयर स्वभाव, वो अपने भाव में है। दे आर नॉट क्रिएटिंग एनी वाइब्रेशन, ठीक है? क्योंकि उसके अंदर घर्षण नहीं होता। वाइब्रेशन कब होगा? कि जब एक दूसरे से टकराते हैं। ओके, सो नाउ दे आर स्टिल स्टेडी। पर जैसे ही हम विभाव में आते हैं, तो हमारे अंदर कुछ ही गुण है कि जिसके अंदर वो कैपेसिटी है कि वो स्वभाव के भी जा सकते हैं, विभाव में भी आ सकते हैं। जैसे ही वो विभाव में आते हैं, तो क्या होगा कि अब दे आर नॉट इन टू देयर ओरिजिनल स्टेट, और उसके हिसाब से दैट द वाइब्रेशन इज बीन क्रिएटेड। जो वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट होगा, सो हम लोग एक ऐसे वर्ल्ड में है। मैं आपको एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि धरती कंप में जो धरती होती है ना, वो नीचे मूवमेंट होती है, तो ऊपर अपने को क्यों इम्पैक्ट होता है? क्योंकि उसके बीच में जितनी भी सारी लेयर्स है ना, वो उनसे कनेक्टेड है। तो मैंने
Connected है।
लास्ट टाइम भी समझाया था और अभी भी मैंने समझाया कि अपने यूनिवर्स के अंदर सब कुछ इतना खचाखच भरा हुआ है कि एक जगह पे भी कहीं पे कुछ होगा ना, तो उनके वाइब्रेशंस मूव करेंगे। ओके, तो
Right.
मेरे सोल के अंदर कुछ हुआ, वो क्यों हुआ? राग और द्वेष के कारण हुआ, ठीक है? जो अपने को थॉट कोई भी आया, तो उसका सिर्फ एक ही रीजन होगा कि या मुझे लाइक है या डिसलाइक है। या तो चार रीजन होंगे कि मैं इसमें अपना कर्तृत्व मानता हूँ, भोक्तृत्व मानता हूँ, अपनत्व मानता हूँ, ओके, या तो एकत्व मानता हूँ। ये चार रीजन ही होंगे। तो उसके हिसाब से जैसे यहाँ पे वो चेंजेस हुए ना, वो जो सिचुएशंस हुई, तो यहाँ पे वो अब स्वभाव में नहीं है, तो उसने क्या किया? स्वभाव और नई स्वभाव के बीच में टकराव होना स्टार्ट हुआ। दैट क्रिएशन से वाइब्रेशंस, जो वाइब्रेशंस हुआ, उनसे जो सारी चीजें अट्रैक्ट हुई, उसको योग बोलते हैं। अपने जो टेक्निकल टर्मिनोलॉजी है, उसी को योग बोलते हैं। योग यानी कि अब दो चीजों का जुड़ाव। मेरे में यहाँ पे कुछ हुआ और मैंने बाजू वाली चीज को इम्पैक्ट किया। अब नाउ हम जब उन सिचुएशंस को देखेंगे, तो अब हम उनको सेपरेटली नहीं देखेंगे, भाई इसको मैंने सेपरेट देखा, उनको मैंने सेपरेट देखा, क्योंकि अब वो सेपरेशंस नहीं है। अब हम उस कंडीशंस को एनालाइज करते हैं, जिसको योग बोलते हैं। आप समझ रहे हो, राइट? वो पर्टिकुलर पोजीशंस को, जहां पे मेरा मेरा हिलना और जो मेरे पास वाले जो पुद्गल परमाणु है ना, उसका हिलना, अब दोनों को हम साथ में देखेंगे। तो वही योग की क्रिया है। तो अब जो चीजें होती है, वो भाव मन में हुई। जैसे आपने थॉट आया, अब उसने वो वाइब्रेशंस क्रिएट किए। अब वो वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट हुए ना, तो वो द्रव्य इसी को बोलते हैं, क्योंकि ये भी एक इसका अपना अस्तित्व है। अब मेरे हिसाब से इसमें भी हलन चलन स्पंदन हुआ।
हाँ
ओके, तो ये द्रव्य मन में आ गया। तो
हाँ
वो कौन सी वर्गणाएं उनको कैच करेगी जिनके रिलेटेड वो वाइब्रेशंस होंगी, राइट? जैसे हम कौन सी चीज देख सकते हैं कि जितना अपनी आंख जो स्पेक्ट्रम देख सकती है ना, उतने ही
हम्म
चीज हम देख सकते हैं। उसके अलावा
हम्म,
भी और भी कई सारी वेवलेंथ है, और उसके नीचे
नहीं
भी वेवलेंथ है, वो
हाँ
हम नहीं देख सकते।
नहीं देख सकते।
सही है, क्योंकि हम वो
हाँ
अल्ट्रा वायलेट है, वो भी वेवलेंथ है, पर वो हमारे स्पेक्ट्रम
वेवलेंथ
में नहीं आती। तो
नहीं
उसी
आता।
हिसाब से जिस स्पेक्ट्रम के अंदर वो आएगा, उस स्पेक्ट्रम उसको कैच करेगा। तो
हम्म
आपकी जो थॉट प्रोसेस है वो मनोवर्गणा के स्पेक्ट्रम में आ रही है, तो मनोवर्गणा उसको
ओके
कैच करेगी। और उसके के बाद उसके अंदर जो चेंजेस होंगे ना, अब हम उस सब्जेक्ट को एनालाइज करेंगे। तो अब मनोवर्गणा के द्रव्य के हिसाब से एनालाइज करेंगे। अगर हम उसको सोल के हिसाब से एनालाइज करना है, तो हम भाव मन की तरफ से और उसमें होने वाले राग द्वेष वगैरह के हिसाब से एनालाइज करेंगे। और अगर साथ में दोनों को देखेंगे, तो वो योग के हिसाब से देखेंगे। ठीक है,
ओके
तो दोज आर द पर्सपेक्टिव व्हिच यू वांट टू फोकस, मींस दोज आर द पर्टिकुलर फोकस एरिया।
हम्म,
ठीक है, अब आपको शायद आई थिंक वो पिक्चर सारी क्लियर हो रही होगी, राइट? बिकॉज
हाँ वो
नाउ दिस वन आज
बहुत
इज
सारी
वेरी
चीजें हैं।
कंफ्यूजिंग थी। ये
हम्म,
कंफ्यूजिंग नहीं है, जैसे आप समझोगे ना कि कहाँ पे किस पॉइंट से कैसे इम्पैक्ट होगा, देन इट इज प्रिटी
हाँ
फाइन।
पॉइंट्स ऑफ रेफरेंसेस अलग अलग है, लाइक हाउ यू आर
नहीं नहीं
सीइंग।
नहीं नहीं, पॉइंट ऑफ रेफरेंस नहीं है, पॉइंट ऑफ फोकस। जो आप किसको देख रहे हो अभी, अभी आप
हम्म
किसको देख रहे हो? जैसे अभी आप सिर्फ जीव को देख रहे हो, तो उसके अंदर होने वाले राग द्वेष भाव आदि को आप देख रहे हो, राइट? अगर आप सिर्फ पुद्गल को देख रहे हो, तो मनोवर्गणा, क्योंकि उस वेवलेंथ को किसने पकड़ा, मनोवर्गणा के स्पेक्ट्रम में आया, तो मनोवर्गणा के, तो अभी आपका फोकस एरिया यही है। और अगर आप बीच में देख रहे हो कि भाई मेरा यहाँ पे वाइब्रेशन हो रहा है, उसके साथ यहाँ पे वाइब्रेशन हो रहा है, तो वो योग वाला आया, तो वो मिक्स दृष्टि आई, जिसको हम जैसे मनुष्य पर्याय, ये हुआ बुरे विचार आया तो मेरा ये सब कुछ हुआ, वो सारी कर्मा ये सब कुछ, वो बीच वाला वो मिक्स पोर्शंस है, जिसमें यहाँ
ओके।
का और यहाँ का दोनों का भाग है।
और जो हम इंट्यूशंस करते हैं, लाइक कोई कोई बोलता है कि मेरा सिक्स सेंस बहुत अच्छा है एंड आई कैन प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट, मैं फ्यूचर में जाकर सोच सकता हूँ या देख सकता हूँ। तो वो साथ में ये सब कुछ यूज कर रहे होते हैं, लाइक सोल द्रव्य को भी, टाइम द्रव्य को भी, और मतलब जो जो बीच वाला आपने बोला कि वो पूरा यूज कर रहे होते हैं उनका, मतलब कैसा रहता है
देखो
वो।
मैंने अभी आपको बोला, राइट? आप चाहे फ्यूचर का बोलो, आप चाहे पास्ट का बोलो, जब तक जीव अपने स्वभाव में है ना, जब तक अपने स्वभाव में है, आप देख रहे हो, राइट? मेरा हाथ मूवमेंट, ये जीव है, इसको आप जीव समझ लो, इस साइड को। ठीक है, जब तक वो अपने स्वभाव में है ना, इसमें कोई वाइब्रेशंस नहीं होगा। जैसे इसके अंदर कुछ भी विभाव हुआ ना, वाइब्रेशन शुरू हुआ। ओके, अब चाहे इसको आप किसी भी एंगल से कनेक्ट करो, चाहे उसको फ्यूचर से, चाहे उसको पास्ट से, हाउ एवर यू वॉन्ट टू पॉइंट, राइट? अभी जो टाइम का कंसेप्ट आया, वो टाइम का कंसेप्ट यही समझाने के लिए, क्योंकि जो सारे सिस्टम है ना, सिस्टम कैसी बनी हुई है, तो सिस्टम के अंदर थ्री पोर्शंस है। एक पोर्शन है कि जिसको आप पूरा का पूरा, ये जो सब्सटेंस है ना, उसको पूरा का पूरा ऐसा का ऐसा ही आउट से देखो। मैं आपको एग्जांपल दे रहा हूँ कि आप जैसे हिल स्टेशन पे गए और आपने सामने देखा, तो सामने जो आपने देखा ना, तो सामने ग्रीनरी भी दिख रही है, बादल आ रहे भी दिख रहे, वो पूरा का पूरा दृश्य दिखा, राइट? अब नाउ यू आर स्टार्ट टू फोकसिंग इट, कि आपने अगर नीचे को देखना चाहा, तो दूसरा एक स्टेडी पार्ट है, एक मूविंग पार्ट है। अब जैसे आपने वो डिस्टिंग्विश किया, तब जाके वो दोनों डिस्टिंग्विश हुए। मगर तो वो जो पूरा सामने देखा ना, वो उसको प्रमाण बोलेंगे। अब जाके जब इन इंडिविजुअली जो स्टडी पोर्शंस को जाके हम देखेंगे, तो स्टडी पोर्शंस तो ऑलवेज भी स्टडी ही रहेगा, क्योंकि वो सारे गुण है, उसमें तो कोई चेंजेस नहीं होगा, राइट? तो उसको गुण बोलेंगे। और जो चेंजिंग वाली जो पार्ट है, उसको पर्याय बोलेंगे। और जो चेंजेस हो रहा है, तो हमें तब जाके एक पॉइंट चाहिए कि हम किस पॉइंट में जाके उस चेंज को मेजर करें। ओके, अब उसको हम टाइम बोलेंगे। और उसी टाइम को अब आप फिर डिवाइड करोगे, प्रेजेंट में, फ्यूचर में और पास्ट में। ठीक है, तो जब तक मैंने सिंपल बोला कि जब तक स्वभाव में है, कोई वाइब्रेशंस नहीं, और उसके बाद कोई प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशंस नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं। जैसे ही विभाव है, जब भी वो कोई भी बोल रहा है फ्यूचर में हूँ, उसका मतलब यहाँ पे विभाव है, यहाँ पे विभाव है, तभी वो वाइब्रेशंस है, तभी वो यहाँ पे जाके इम्पेक्ट करेगा।
आंसर ये भी है कि हम फ्यूचर में जो सोचते हैं उसका कारण है इंट्यूशन। हमें जो होता है वो हमारे अंदर में दो तरह के कर्म होते हैं ना, ज्ञानावरणी और दर्शनावरणी। सो जब दर्शनावरणी कर्म का इम्पैक्ट सोल के ऊपर कम होता है तो उसको इंट्यूट करने की पावर उसकी बढ़ जाती है। तो किसी में वो इंट्यूशन पावर बहुत डेवलप्ड होता है तो ये इनर सेल्फ की अपनी क्वालिटी है या प्योरिटी है, जिससे वो जो है रिमोट फ्यूचर के बारे में कुछ सोच सकता है, प्लान कर सकता है। तो ये उसका अंदर का इनर प्योरिफिकेशन है ना, इंट्यूशन पावर का डेवलपमेंट है, जिसके कारण से वो फ्यूचर रिमोट फ्यूचर को भी देख सकता है और चीजों को पहले से सेंस भी कर सकता है। ठीक है, चलिए प्रकाश संचेती का कुछ क्वेश्चन है?
Hello, I have a question.
Okay. Who has?
It's me,
Sanjay.
Devanshi.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
actually a new student.
Okay.
I missed the first two classes, and my question was, is there a pre-recording of the first two classes that I can take a look at to catch
Yeah.
up?
Yes, it is available with the modules. You can see that the first and second recordings are already posted on first module, week 1 of module, and then second week module is also having the recording. Okay, so you can
All
find
right.
that on modules in the Google Classroom. Are you connected with the Google Classroom?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you can find that.
All right. Thank you.
Dr. Sancheti.
Yes, Vandani, that's regarding you focus analyze mainly on the throat vibration
Yes.
and feeling also. I
Yeah.
think it is more if we focus on, or you can be give a highlight on the visualization, which
Yeah.
is the vibration is better, or visualization is which is the you give a little differentiation between visualization and vibration.
Yes. So vibration is always due to some connection with some material body or entities, whether it is mind or body or verbal, what we say, vocal cord, or with any other material entities. But so far as the real nature of a soul is concerned, it is having the visual power. Okay. And that's why in Praksha meditation, we emphasize to use that power of soul in which there is no action, just visualization or observation. And that is the real power of soul. That is called Gyata Drashta Bhav in spirituality. Clear? Any other question? Okay. So I think the time is up. Should I stop here? Because the second lecture is based on the conception of time and space in Western philosophy and science. And it is quite clear from the lecture of Professor Kachara. Might be it is clear to all of you. If you have some question, then I can say something. Otherwise, we can stop.
Vandami, before we conclude our class, let's have another announcement. Means
Yes.
if you all participants are still not joined with our WhatsApp group, make sure you joined us. So where we are posting up and all those the announcement. And if you still didn't join with the Google Classroom, please join now. This is the humble request, because over there you will find not only the previous lectures ones, but all your study materials, right? And if you have any difficulties, always you are free to ask me or Vandami, and they will help you into it. Okay, so make sure that at the both of those the platform you joined it. And third one is a quiz one. We are receiving a very less responses in a quiz, so this the quiz are for our self purpose, right? Means it is your purpose, how much you knowing. And once you are doing all those one, with even though it is not compulsory over the 61, but we are recommending you to do, so that's way you know yourself. And sometimes you can also have some of those the questions, you can ask those the questions in a live session. Okay, so any of those, and later on, even though while you are studying, and if you have any questions, please do not forget us to send us an email. Our email always been checking it out, and how much the time permits, we always responding to your emails as well.
Surilji,
Thank
how
you,
can
Vanda.
we get a copy of the book by Dr. Kachara?
That the book is already been posted in our self-study
There's a
sessions in a Google Classroom. You
a
have
physical
this
copy. If you wanted a
physical copy, Vandami will guide you on to that matter.
Yeah, so that is available in India, and it is published by Motilal Banarsidass publisher.
Ji.
So you have to just see that there may be some branch here in USA also of Motilal Banarsidass. If you can see that address or contact number, might be you will get it. Okay. Otherwise, it is available in India.
Okay. And the other question, Samniji, is the quiz. I attempted the quiz and made a mistake on question number 13, but
Yes.
there was no answer given. I didn't know what the right answer would be. So how can I find that out?
So however is this the quiz is been setting it up? We are not previously we send them out as soon as you submit your quiz, those the answer. But now whenever you submit your quiz, there is another response sheet is coming up that you required your response. You whenever you say yes, then your response has been given it to you, because we don't want to flood your inbox or
Right.
your things in a
But
manner, right?
there
Means
was
that
no
the
correct
constant.
answer marked. It was just the question was marked wrong.
So
But the
in
correct
your
answer-
response sheet, you will receiving it out the correct answers as well. If you select, because whenever you're doing a sheet now, quiz number 3 is coming up, right? So as soon as you submit it, they ask you, do you want your response back? If you say yes, then it will be giving you with the correct answers as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
So thank you very much for joining the session. Hopefully, all the video lectures are clear. There should not be any difficulty to understand on what we say, get the point of the author. The book is also posted already on the Google Classroom, so you can see in the PDF form. And I have also abstracted a chapters from that book and also uploaded in the particular module. So you are getting that material also in the particular week module. So you can see that from there also. The whole book is also posted. Okay. Thank you. So now we are leaving.
Thank you, Samniji. Vandami Namansami, Samniji.
Thank you.
Vandami.
Vandami